David Erdos with poem 46 from the COVIDIan Age, In Whose Name. Any day now, all will change. It'll either be hope or hellfire, trumped or unbidden, or Bidened perhaps. We'll hear flame, burning somewhere, and yet without the former heat we relied on, as people my age use nostalgia as a refuge from the current time's stark mind game. As I write, we retreat until bunkers may combine with Christ's manger. Perhaps while possibly isolated at Christmas, we will look to 2021's promised vaccine as the wise boy band once did to a star. Singing our own strained Noels with nowhere to go, we'll make wishes about either success or seclusion, or the happiness we had, which seems far from where and what we have now, the beginnings of a formerly patronized fiction. One made to assure us that the light sent to find us will forever direct us away from such dark. And yet I cannot imagine it now, as the roads I walked this week seemed truncated. Going to the West End, I wandered through a parade of ghosts and shops scarred by the threat of closure, and worse, by the utter absence of interest. London offered only a pale imitation of a capital for which survival now entails a large question mark. A cure could well come, but what will be left to heal over? Will each threatened store grow like grasses after the winter's hold? Will streets burn? For if Trump does return, there will be a loss of sense and all reason, and an encouragement to the forces that are placing a strain on each mind. The US prefers dynasties, from the sharp-thorned Bush to cleared Clintons. So will the praying compos mantis Ivanka and Jared sit out 4 years and mark time, before the real hammer falls and a brief delay sees snails blinded, finally crushed while believing that we are over the worst and that mountains crusted with Christmas snow now await us and remain the final barriers we must climb. I think it will be tougher than that, and the challenge, of course, will run deeper. Right now, we are fossils in the making, frozen to some extent in our houses, but presented to the winter, just like those lost creatures littered across submerged mountainsides. How then do we return and resist these secret bills and signs passed at midnight? While we were dreaming, nightmares have been vampirically transfused into day. If we are to break through the shell and once more become mammal, let us hope that our blood breeds no bargain, and that we all share a future in which we will all have a say. Naive, I know. But if not, we're trumped. Pun intended. In whose name rests the future? COVID's or yours? God's or Joe's? Each of us make our pretense and our defense too, if we're lucky. Meanwhile, the sky appears closer, and instead of a kiss, cold winds blow. David Erdos, October the 28th, 2020.